Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cozy Cardigans podcast. My name is Mel, and I'm the owner and dyer for Big Little Yarn Co., which is a hand-dyed yarn shop. And, welcome. I should say I'm living in Yoga, Japan with my husband, Tim, and my son, Everest. And welcome back to a little February mid-month check-in. Pretty sure this video will be quite quick. I don't have a ton to share. I have been knitting though, which is good. Don't have a ton to share, but that's okay. As you can maybe hear, like last video, if you watched the last video, I was talking about how I was getting over this like congestion thing, and by the end of January, I was like really good. The congestion was all gone. But like a week ago, my son brought home a little bit of a head cold from daycare. So please excuse my very nasally voice. I'm sure it sounds worse to your ears than it does to mine right now. But yeah, I'm super stuffed. I have some coffee, have some water, I have some tissues. So if there's like cuts in between, it's probably me blowing my nose off camera. I'll have cuts for when I cough. But I really wanted to get this thing out. I want to try my best to like have a consistent filming schedule. It's one of my little resolutions, as you can say. So here I am. Hopefully that's okay. So it is mid-February already. I forget how fast February goes, even though it's only like 2-3 days shorter than the rest of the months of the year. It feels like February just zooms by. But anyway, so it's already mid-February. I did get some stuff done. Just really quick shop announcements before I continue. The February Color Club colorways, which I'll pop up here. It's my Plummy Valentine and also Sakura Kiss. Those two colorways are still up. As of now, my shop is under construction. So long story short, I was planning on updating the shop for quite a while now, but I just never got around to it. But then it so happened that there was a bug that kind of just forced me into it, which is like, like a silver lining is I have to update my shop for real now. So my website is currently under construction as of filming right now, which is, what day is today? February 14th. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Tim and I are very Valentine's Day kind of people, so which is why I'm filming on Valentine's Day. But happy Valentine's Day. Love you guys. But yeah, so as of filming right now, the website is currently password protected, but it should be up over the weekend. I'm going to work on it, try to get it up as fast as possible. So I think by the time I put this video up, it should be all good. But if it's not, don't worry. It'll be back up, and the colorways will still be available to order until the end of the month. And I do have some swatches and samples. Maybe I should just show you that really quick. I'll just show you the swatches that I've made. These are not blocked, but I did learn how to crochet a granny square. So I'll have to share this on Instagram. I'm sure there's not many crocheters in the viewing crowd right now because this is a mostly knitting podcast. I don't really crochet personally. I just this took me a really long time to figure out. Like, I cannot get my head around crochet, but I did it. So this is a crochet swatch of my Plummy Valentine, and excuse the ends, I still have to block it, so it's a little wonky, but I'm going to take pictures of it, show it off on Instagram. Thought I'd show you first. And this is a knit swatch of my Plummy Valentine on Trusty sock with Sakura Kiss on Surrey Silk Lace. I really wanted to see how they mix together, and I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I'll show you another another little swatch I made for another upcoming whip that I wasn't supposed to cast on, I'm not supposed to, but I can't help myself. But I saw this and I was like, I'm not usually a pink person, first of all. Like, I like the color pink, but I don't wear the color pink too often. But if I do, I really love like this gray, not gray, clay, dusty rose pink color. Like that is what I go for when it comes to pink for me personally. So I love this swatch so much. So you can really see how the variegation is toned down by the solid tonal Surrey silk lace. If you could kind of see that. And I'll show you another whip that I have using my Plummy Valentine just by itself to really show off what the variegation looks like just on its own, but it just looks so good together. So yeah, well anyways, these are still up in the shop, and the shop should be up by now, hopefully by the time you're watching this, but if not, don't worry about it. You'll still be able to order throughout February. So yeah, that was my little shop announcement. So let's start off with what I'm wearing, which is a new FO. So yeah, you saw this last episode. This is the Cloud Sweater by Petite. Let me just pull up. I have like I have a little knitting journal Notion, I guess. I don't know if any of you use Notions for your knitting or your reading, but I use Notion a lot for when it comes to all of my extracurricular activities. So let me just pull it up right now. So this is the Cloud Sweater by Petite. Let me show you. So it's quite long, longer than what I usually do. I feel like usually I would go up here, but I really wanted it to be quite on the longer side. So it goes down like to my butt. And these are the sleeves. Minimal sleeve shaping. There are decreases, but it's very subtle. And then the hem is rolled, got the rolled hem here, as well as on the bottom. And I don't know if you could see, but I lost yarn chicken. And this rolled hem is different from this rolled hem. But I feel like you can't really tell, honestly. And because it's rolled, it's very small compared to, like, it doesn't stretch out very much. It's actually like 3 or 4 rows of the different yarn that I used, but you can't really tell because it just kind of rolls up, and it's just like, it looks like an I-cord. So it's not too bad. Like, I lost yarn chicken, but did I really lose? I don't know. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. Oh, and also the collar is also a rolled hem as well, which is quite nice. This is literally a cloud sweater. I knit this using Berroco yarns Berroco Mochi, which is actually discontinued, but you could still get some sweater quantities online. They still have some online. It just recently got discontinued. So if you go online right now, you could probably get some for sale, actually. This is the Aubergine colorway. I was looking it up, and I believe there's some like garnet, which is like a red out there, and like the gray one, I forget what it's called, but there are a few colors still out and about. So if you wanted to try knitting with it before it's all gone, as of now you could still get some. But yeah, it's really lovely, soft. It's a chainette stitch yarn. It's not chainette stitch, it's a chainette yarn. So it's not like a ply, it's very kind of loose and fluffy. It's also got these tweedy bits here, which is really nice. It's really fun to knit with because you see like these pops of tweed come out whenever you stitch. And I knit the extra small size, which I believe is size 2, which is like the second size for Petite knit. And I think it's perfect. I feel like if I really wanted to have an oversized sweater, I could have gone for the size small and have it really big, because I do like looking like a circus at times, but this is like a really good size for me. Yeah, this is the extra small size, and I knit using the US 8 needles, which is a size down from recommended. She recommends the US 9, I believe. Otherwise, I knit pretty much exactly to pattern. The only thing is I just like the usual stuff. Like I usually ignore the length of sleeve. Like I forget what she recommends, but I just go up to whatever I need because my arms are really short. And then also the length, I just knit until what I thought was good. And it was really nice because since it is a rolled hem, you only need like 6 to 8 rows before you bind off. Like, well, there's like 4 rows of ribbing and then 4 rows of stockinette, which makes the rolled hem. So it's really easy to try on and, you know, gauge where you want the sweater to end up. I was kind of worried that it was gonna be too big actually at first, because although I am interested, I would have been fine with knitting the size small to get really extra big. Since I knit the size extra small, I was kind of expecting this kind of fit. When I was knitting it, it was looking a bit larger than I thought, especially because I was kind of worried because I was losing yarn chicken. But in the end, the yarn is quite interesting. It didn't really grow as much as I thought. It kind of, not that it shrunk, but it kind of came together into itself. I don't know if it's the chain net or if it's the content, like the wool content or what, but it kind of just scrunched into itself. And actually, when I was knitting, knit the sleeves like all the way up to here to my like lower thumb knuckle. I don't know what you would call that, but as you can see, it scrunched pretty good, you know. Like it's also maybe because like when you bend your elbow, it scrunches the sweater a bit, so when I let go, it kind of stays there. If I pull it out, sorry, this is kind of hard to do. If I pull it out and stretch it out, it stretches all the way to my knuckle. So that's what it looked like when I was blocking it, because it was kind of all stretched out. But once it dries, it kind of just springs back into itself. So that was quite nice, and I think that's what makes it so squishy. So in the end, it worked out, which is good. And yeah, I actually really like that it ended up being almost bracelet length, because what I didn't think about that I really like about this particular sweater, well, what I wasn't thinking about is, first of all, I was thinking I wanted to have longer sleeves because I wanted to be able to, like, you know, when you have like regular ribbing, not rolled hem ribbing, but like regular ribbing, the rib tends to stay on your wrist, you know what I mean? It doesn't really fall down onto your hand because the ribbing just kind of scrunches onto your wrist, if you know what I mean. But if you have something like a rolled hem, something that's very loose, it's not gonna stay on your wrist. If it's too long, it's gonna just keep going down onto your hand and it's just gonna stay there. You can't really, you know, keep pushing it up. And it would be really annoying to have to keep pushing it up. So it ended up being bracelet wrist length, and I really like that because I didn't think about how much I would have to push the sleeve up if I ended up having really long sleeves for this, because it would be a bit different from a regular ribbed sleeve. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So yeah, anyways, all that is to say that I really like the sleeve length where it ended up, even though I knit super way past what I thought. Like I knit it all the way here when I was trying it on. It was all the way up here, and then yeah, it scrunched up, but it ended up okay, is what I was trying to say. So yeah, everything else I knit to pattern, nothing really changed. And yeah, I'm super happy with it. I'm glad I'm able to wear it during the cold season. It was a really fast knit. I knit it in a month, which is kind of crazy, but it's probably because I'm knitting like I usually knit fingering-ish weight sweaters, and this is like an Aran weight, I guess, essentially. So yeah, and that's about it for this. So yeah, nice garment FO, first garment FO of the year. So let's move on to whips. Whips wise, I only have accessory whips to show you because the recursion pullover that I talked about last time, I've only knit like 4 rows of it, so there's not much to show you. I just didn't even bother bringing it over here. I'm really close to finishing the color work. I'm like 3 rows away from finishing the color work, so I think I'm just kind of like senioritis, you know, like almost there, but like it's just making me quite tired. But I'm almost there. I'm almost at the sleeve separation, and then it's just stockinette from there. So I'm gonna try to finish that this coming week, but we'll see. So yeah, I have all my whips are accessory whips. So let's start with the My Plummy Valentine whip. So this is the February Color Club colorway that I was telling you about, and I am knitting the Wildflower and Honey Socks by This Handmade Life, and I love how it looks. It is so cute knit up. So you can really see the variegation here. I wanted to choose a pattern where you can really see it, but you can see like the purples and the pinks and like the browns. So this is going really well. I'm pretty much, this is like actually my primary knitting for now. I've been trying to knit this up before February ends, honestly, so I could show you guys. But yeah, I'm knitting it to pattern. I'm knitting the size 2, which is the 64 stitch count. I did change the heel. She has, I'm not sure what you call it, but it's like a slip stitch heel, but like inside out, like the purl side out one. I prefer just a regular slip stitch heel, so I just did my own heel, but otherwise I knit it to pattern. And yeah, this has been my primary knitting. Not much to say other than I'm really excited about it. So you can really see how the variegation pops, and then like how it kind of gets muted with the suri if you put suri on top. But both look so pretty. I love it so much. So yeah, I've been knitting on that. Hopefully I'm done with at least one sock by February so I could like post it on Instagram, but we'll see. And then because I'm knitting those Wildflower and Honey socks, I've put these ones kind of on hold. These are the Petal drop socks. Yeah, so these are kind of on hold for now. I'll knit these up once I'm done with the February socks, but pretty much just got to the heel and turned the heel, and I'm about to do the gusset. But this one is kind of just sitting at my desk for now. I just wanted to show you because I think I knit more onto it since I've last talked to you, but I haven't touched it in quite a while. So these are kind of going into hibernation. It's very weird for me to have 2 sock whips, actually. I usually like to only have one, hence why one is in hibernation. But yeah, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but these are there. And then last but not least, this was an accidental cast on. Very, I saw it online and I was like, I know. I saw it and then I was like, oh, maybe I could just look in my stash to see if I have any fun color combos for this. And then I saw this color combo and I was like, I have to cast on. I have the yarn for it. So anyways, this is Thru Lines by Andrea Mowry. It is still in like the very early stages, as you can see. This is her new shawl pattern, and I loved how I think she used Spin Cycle for this little contrast color here. I have this handspun that I've had forever. I think I finished the handspun when I still lived in America, so like 5, 6 years ago. So I've had it forever. It's like this awkward weight. I think it's like a sport weight. Um, I don't have enough for a sweater. It's not the kind of colors that I would knit with anymore. It's more of like a fun contrast color, hence using it in here. So I just never had the opportunity to use it until now. So let me just talk about the colors. So the main background color, so the dark brown, is Bramble. This is from my yarn shop. This is Bramble. It's an old classic Big Little Yarn Co. colorway. It's like this brownish purple. This is on the, oh man, I don't remember what I used for, I believe this is like an old, really old base. I don't even think I have this base available. I think the closest thing would in my shop currently would probably be like the Superwash BFL Corridale base maybe, but this is a really old base, unknown base that I like kept for myself from years ago. And I'm also using Isager Alpaca 2, Alpaca 1. I'll put it up in the screen, but this is leftovers from my Elizabeth blouse by Petite Knit. I have 2 more skeins. This is like a, I believe they call it light fingering, but it's almost lace weight, so I'm holding it double, as you can see. So that's contrast color 1, and then contrast color 2 is the handspun that I was telling you about. So I just have, I think I have another skein of this, but it's just mostly blue-green with like these pops of orange. And so right now I'm in the orange bit, so I'm excited to see what it'll look like once I start getting into the blue-green part. So let me give you a close-up of what it looks like. So it's got these like slip stitch, I don't know what you call it. It's not really color work because you just use one color at a time. But I really love how they overlay against each other, and it's just like such a weird trio, but they really work well together. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm obsessed. So I've been kind of just knitting on this every now and then when I get bored of socks and I don't really want to do color work. So yeah, just like a quick whip. Still have a while to go, but the reason why I really like this pattern is because it's really easy to it's really easy to adjust based on how much yarn you do have. So I don't think I have enough to make the full size, but it is really easy to figure out how many increases you have to go before you start decreasing, as long as you know like the original weight of what you have. So I'm pretty much just gonna keep going until I finish this ball of Bramble, because I have 2 cakes of it. So I'm pretty much just gonna increase up to whenever I finish this, and then decrease using the other skein that I have. So I'm not sure how big the shawl will be at the end, but I think it'll definitely be a lot smaller than the one that Andrea Mowry models in her project. That's okay, because I think it'll be really cute as like a, even like as a kerchief, you know, it'd be really cute. So it's like very muted, but it also has these fun color pops. So yeah, I'm happy about this. And that is all my knitting whips. I have one spinning whip. I did start spinning again, which is exciting. I've had this whip on my spinning wheel for forever, since like, I don't even know, the beginning of last year, so like a year. And I finally finished. It's a 3-ply project. I'll show you the 2 singles that I finished. I'm currently on my third single for the third ply, and I can't really take it off the wheel right now because it's stuck on a braid. So I'll show you that when it's done, but I'll show you the first two singles that I finished. So it's going to be a 3-ply project. So this one is the first bit. I have a ton of this. This is a coordinate pack by Hello Yarns that I found off of Mercari, which is kind of like a Facebook marketplace kind of place in Japan, website in Japan. Someone was selling this for cheap, so I just bought the whole thing. I still have a ton of it. I just filled up a bobbin. But yeah, it's actually a Hello Yarn coordinate pack from one of her clubs forever ago. I'm not sure. And I just kind of tore apart the pieces and just spun the colors randomly. So these are all like randomized colors. There's no rhyme or reason. And then the second ply is going to be this. This is, shoot, I don't know if I have the bag right now. I'll have to put the company up. I think it's South African. Yeah, I don't remember, but the original braid had all these colors plus a bunch of blues and greens, which didn't really match with this. So I took out the blues and greens and I just spun the pinks and purples. So these two are going to apply together along with this third one. And this third one here is, I'll just put a picture up. I think I have a picture of it in braid form. It's Suspiria by me. It was in the Spooky Summer collection and it's on Rambouillet. And I'll put the picture of the braid up. But I'll be spinning these three, plying these three together once I finish the third ply to make like a 3-ply yarn. I think it'll probably be like a DK worsted, and I'll probably just keep it to have. Honestly, I don't really have a project in line for it or anything. I'm a big fan of combo spins. Like, I love mixing everybody's stuff together to make my own thing. So yeah, which is why I just have like so many random plies going on. But yeah, I'm excited. I really love the colors and I'm excited to see how they all work together. They look so different and I love seeing how they all work together as a 3-ply. So I will keep you updated on that. That's going well. But yeah, those are all my whips. And then I do have one more like almost whip. So I saw the other day, 2 days ago, Samantha Guerin Designs put out her new pattern, the study session sweater, and I was obsessed. I love it. I just, like, I don't know, it just like hit something in me, and I knew I wanted to make it even though I had no plans of making it at all. And I don't even know if I'll be able to finish it in time to be able to wear it, honestly, because I feel like by the time I finish making it, it'll be warm. But we'll see. Who cares, right? So I made a swatch. So this is the swatch. It's pink. As I was saying, I'm not a pink person, but a dusty clay pink just gets to me. So I'm having like a pink, dusty gray pink moment right now this February, but this is the swatch. I am going to be using, so the pattern calls for a sport to DK. I don't have any sport weight yarn. I didn't want to buy yarn, obviously, although I did buy some yarn the other day, and I'll show you probably at the February wrap up. Hopefully they come in this month. But anyways, I didn't want to buy any more yarn. I don't really have any sport weight, so I decided to make a DK weight. So I had this in my stash for a while. This is Woolly Mammoth Fiber. Woolly Mammoth Fiber Co. This is her limited edition. What's it called? I forget what the base was called. not sure if I'm not sure if it had like a specific base name, but this is a limited edition Dorset wool. This is her is it a 4-ply or a 2-ply? I think it's a 2-ply, but it was one of her limited edition Dorset wools, and I love the pinks that Emma makes. It is so good. So I have a bunch of this. This is the tag, by the way. I love the tags she makes. I've had this for quite a while. I just been holding on to it, not knowing what to do with it. And I've also had this Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. This is in the colorway Rose Clay, which is exactly the vibe I was going for. And so I was like, these would go so well together, right? So I held them double. So the Woolly Mammoth is like a brighter pink, while the mohair is like a grayer pink. And together they make such a lovely mid-tone pink, dusty pink. Right? Don't you think so? I'm trying to show like how it looks like compared to all three of them. So it's kind of hard to hold, so hopefully you could see it, but I love like the middle ground between these two. So I think this is the winner. I originally swatched using the US 7, which is the recommended needle size, but it was way too big. I think the gauge is 21 stitches per 10 centimeters, and mine was like 18, like super off. So I went down 2 needle sizes actually to a US 5. So quite I haven't had to go down 2 needle sizes for a pattern in quite a while, but yeah, so this is on a US 5, and I think I do like the fabric a lot better. The one on the US 7, the 18 stitch one, it was a bit holey, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't in the project photos that she shows, it's a lot more of a, I don't want to say it's like a dense kind of looking, it's not a very dense looking sweater, but it's not a wholly light sweater, if you know what I mean. So I think this is a really good fabric for that sweater, and yeah, I'm super excited by it. It's not the softest thing in the world, but I'm not, so for mohair, like, I've only really liked Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. I carry Surrey Silk Alpaca in my shop because mohair honestly makes me really itchy, and I'm not an itchy person in general. I can wear unspun wool, like I can wear really itchy wool against my skin, but I can't do mohair for some reason, except for Knitting for Olive mohair. So if you are not a mohair type of person, but you do want to get into mohair, I do recommend Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair. It is actually quite soft, but otherwise I would recommend trying Surrey Silk Alpaca because I can wear Surrey Silk Alpaca fine. But anyways, that is to say, this is not like the softest thing in the world. Dorset wool is also not very soft, but I think it would be really cozy. I could totally, it's just like the vibe is there, you know, study session sweater, super cozy pink sweater. I'm really excited. So hopefully I'll have this cast on and I could show you my progress next episode. But yeah, those are all my knits. Let me go through my reading really quick. I've only read 3 books so far in February, so it's not much. So let me just tell you what they are. I have it written down on my iPad. So I've been on like an unhinged main character kind of book binge lately. So all of these have like, well, the 2 fiction ones so far have that kind of unhinged main character energy. Like, book I'm currently reading also has that. That's nonfiction book, not so much, but like kind of in the same vein, I feel like. So anyways, let me just tell you, I read The Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki. I think I was reading this the last time I talked to you, and I really liked it. It was really touching in like this weird way. Like, I don't know if it's because I have a son and the point of view is of the main character is like this young boy who is going through grief and adolescence and puberty and life changes with his mother, who also is like having her own mental health issues, and they're just trying to get over the grief of losing his father, her husband, like really suddenly and tragically. And it was, and I say it's unhinged main character because the boy gets a little unhinged, but in like not a, although it's like obviously tragic in a tragic way, it's also still very heartwarming and light and easy to see like the silver lining kind of thing. It's very hard to describe, so I do really recommend. Ruth Ozeki is one of my favorites. I think I gave this 4.25 stars. And then I also finished The Vegetarian by Han Kang. Definitely unhinged main character energy, unhinged woman, like just not caring anymore kind of energy. And so it is quite short, but also really powerful and very it's not graphic, but it's very like the visual imagery of it is very what's the opposite of subtle, like very potent. Like it's hard to keep it off your mind once you finish reading it, kind of thing. I could see why Han Kang won the Nobel Prize. So it was my first Han Kang. I'm really interested in reading her other works. And yeah, I think I gave this one 4 stars. And last night I actually finished listening to as an audiobook All in Her Head, The Truth and Lies Early Medicine Taught Us About Women's Bodies and Why It Matters Today by Dr. Elizabeth, shoot, I did, the last name kind of went away. Dr. Elizabeth, what is her name? I'll have to put it up. I mean, it's up. I don't know why my last name kind of went away. Her first name is Elizabeth, Dr. Elizabeth. And my goal this year is to, for audiobooks, listen to as many nonfiction audiobooks as possible. I really want to get back into nonfiction. I'm really interested. If you have recommendations, you can let me know. But I really love like nonfiction rooted in like science, because I did graduate with, for those of you who don't know, I did not go to, a lot of people assume I went to art school. I did not. I actually graduated with a biology degree from UCI, if you're interested, University of California of Irvine. So I know some people have also gone there, which is funny. So I actually graduated with a biology degree, so I really love reading nonfiction books based in biology or science or psychology, things like that. So if you do have any recommendations, let me know. But yeah, this book was really interesting because it kind of goes through the history of male doctors, consistently not believing in women patients, and like how that has affected women's health historically, which is really interesting. And she comes from a background, I think she's an oncologist, and she also did a lot of research for this book. And it was just really interesting to see the history of medicine and how it has affected female bodies throughout thousands of years, essentially. And she's also quite funny. So I do recommend it if you are interested in that kind of thing. And it also is kind of empowering to know, to like remember to advocate for yourself when you are feeling not good. Like you're not, you know your body best. And sometimes doctor may say no, or that you're crazy, but maybe you're not, and you should believe in yourself. So it's really empowering that way as well. So I do highly recommend it if you are interested in that kind of thing. And I'm currently reading another unhinged main character book. It's called The Eyes Are the Best Part. It is a horror novel. I haven't gotten to the horror part yet. I don't know what it is about eyes, but as you can see from the cover, it has to do something about eyeballs. Kind of nervous, but I am very interested to see how unhinged the main character gets. So I will let you know next time. But yeah, I think that is it. That's actually a pretty decent episode. I feel like I rambled quite a bit, so I apologize, but I hope my nasally voice wasn't too much of an issue. But yeah, I hope you are all staying healthy. You don't have a cold like I do, and if you do, please make sure you rest. You deserve it. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well, staying cozy. It's still really cold here. It has snowed a couple times. It doesn't snow enough to settle on the ground where I live, but it has snowed a few times over the last couple of weeks, and it is definitely still winter here where I live in Japan. So I hope that you are all staying cozy, drinking something warm, crafting something nice, and yeah, and I'll see you next time.